Recordings have surfaced of a phone conversation nearly a half-century ago between President Richard Nixon and future President Ronald Reagan. The recordings were released by the National Archives, and they capture the two men using racist language. Here's White House correspondent Paula Reed.
President Richard Nixon recorded himself talking to then California Governor Ronald Reagan in October 1971, the day after the United Nations voted to recognize the People's Republic of China. Reagan had phoned Nixon at the White House to vent his frustration at African delegates who celebrated the vote.
Last night, I tell you, to watch that thing on television as I did, to see those monkeys from those African countries, damn them, they're still uncomfortable wearing shoes.
The Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation said today, if he said that 50 years ago, he shouldn't have, and he would be the first person to apologize. After talking with Reagan, Nixon called Secretary of State William Rogers and adopted Reagan's racist language.
He saw these cannibals on television last night, and he said, nicely said they weren't even wearing shoes, and he says, here, the United States is going to submit its fate to that.
Later that month, Nixon laughed at these comments from his best friend, Bibi Rebozo.
You know, that reaction on television proves how they ought to be still hanging from the trees by the tail.
Even in 1971, that language would have shocked the general public. President Trump has, of course, come under fire for his racist tweets, but he said yesterday he is the least racist person there is in the world.
Spit in my face.
Excuse me, Kenna.
You're dirt. We think you're dirt, Paul.
Who is we?
The West, all those superpowers, everything you believe in, Paul. They think you're dirt. They think you're dung. You're worthless.
I'm afraid I don't understand what you are saying, sir.
Oh, come on, don't bullshit me, Paul. You're the smartest man here. You got them all eating out of your hands. You could own this freaking hotel, except for one thing. You're black. You're not even you're an African.
Are white men. The lead robbers in America are white men. The largest amount of rapists are white men. The highest number of domestic abusers is white men. The highest number of arrested pedophiles is white men. The greatest number of drug dealers arrested is white men. But if you ask the average American who are the proponents of crime, there's a black face to it. They're now trying to create this narrative that the immigrants are bringing in the crime because they never want to own up to what it is that they have done. Part of our responsibility is to pull the sheets off. We had a shooting here in Georgia not long ago. A young man named Colt, 14 years old, went and shot up his high school. His father's now being charged. Can you imagine what conversation me and you would be having if Colt was black and Colt's black father gave him a gun? The television, the internet would explode on the irresponsibility of black fathers, on why it is that young black men have guns and are carrying guns. It has always shifted to make black men feel hyper-aggressive, hypersexual, and hyper-criminalized. It's part of a larger, historic, original sin of America that always criminalizes and points their fingers at black men when it's absolutely not.